Okay, so in today's video we're going to do a little bit of the news here real quick. So we're going to do this to the gameplay of World War Z. And let's see what we have here. Microsoft sends a warning to anyone using Windows 11 on incompatible hardware. So what's going on here is that it's never wise to use incompatible software that is incompatible with the hardware you're using, because it's not going to run properly. It's going to be likely to crash, and it's not going to be interfacing with your CPU, GPU, and all that stuff in the correct manner. So it's going to be working at a dysfunction. Yeah, that is an article that Microsoft is warning everyone about, is that you shouldn't use Windows 11 on hardware it's not designed for. Because, of course, you don't have the right stuff and it's not going to interface correctly. Nintendo's lawsuit is likely to force palworld to make a change which ruins the game. Yeah, apparently characters were getting stuck in the floor, and when you threw the balls with the updates. So the recent update, they're going to change some of the things in the game, which is likely to get Nintendo off their back, because it's going to be messy if they choose to do Scorcher's policy. So the thing is that there was a game-breaking bug when I was playing it where characters were getting stuck, but they fixed that with a patch that stopped the characters from getting stuck in the ground, which is a very beneficial thing. The current update disabled controversial feature that allowed players to spawn pals strategically. It was an important aspect of the game that made experience fun and challenging. I just threw them out and used them to overpower them. I used Catris and to overpower it with massive overleveling, or Jet Dragon. But this is really since the feature has been changed to auto spawning, the players are not having great. Okay, so I mean, I don't care whether it's spawning or auto spawning, and I don't think most gamers in general also care about that. So let's go back. Okay, so we are going to. Where the hell am I? Go to underrated action series with 85%. What movie is this? Nikita, starring Maggie Q. I like Maggie Q. She's cool, but I haven't seen that film. Airing on Oh, it's a CW film. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna like that. Maggie Q is a really good actress, but they probably just did the movie bad. Japan is starting a project to do anti-piracy AI with anime and manga. So let's see what their plan is. This is approval from the Japanese government, which means that it's going to be confined to Japan, which means that the whole entire world is going to blatantly ignore it. So let's see. They have a highly ambitious plan to purge online anime and manga piracy using artificial intelligence, are worth $2 million. I think they're going to need more than $2 million to do that. But reports that the Japanese government's Agency for Cultural Affairs is building an AI dedication system, but they're not going to be able to control people in China or anything like that. Their laws are confined to the country of Japan uh, because of jurisdictional boundaries. So I mean, if a person in Japan tries to sue an agent in China, their suit is going to get blatantly ignored. Uh, it's going to see a massive rise in DCMA takedown requests filed to Google. I mean, they can file DCMA requests, but they're going to be challenged based on the national sovereignty of where the people exist. So anyways, Nintendo is launching Animal Crossing Pocket Camp without microtransactions, which is going to be very, very beneficial for people. People are going to like that. Avowed developer credits on RPGs dating back 25 years said he's the most confident. Yeah, he's getting rammed on social media right now for his overtly discriminatory hiring practices and his temper tantrums online. So yeah, that's what's going on there. I'll go look that up in a Smash GT article. So palworld update 3.12 fixed pals getting stuck in the ground. Yeah, this was the fix that fixed the problem with the other fix when they were getting stuck in the ground because of the auto spawning rules. So that's an issue that's already been fixed, except for the people that are very strung up on the whole fact that they want to strategically place their balls. Okay, man. Okay, so we're gonna go to this website here and look at a couple of these things. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is already in serious trouble. Yeah, it is. It's a Disney product, so it's already got a toxic attitude associated with it. People are going to be pretty nasty about it. Here an article by Smash JT says that it's shaping up to be a massive disaster, mainly because Xbox won't allow critics to post reviews, which is a very, very bad sign because if they can't build hype for the game, it's going to flop. And plus, it's a Disney product, and with what Disney's been doing, with what Xbox has been doing recently, with their games being absolutely toxic, they're already preparing for a hurricane-level storm in that regard, which is going to be very terrible for them, especially with the controversy that's going on over at Avowed. So, whistleblower explodes a sickening wheel of. This is one of the reasons why that the game is going to be very bad, is because this wheel of privilege DI training tool, which is probably a tool that was used in the Indiana Jones game as well as the Avowed game, which creates a racist ranking structure of people in the workplace, such as heterosexual people are ranked as more despised than gay men, or lesbian, pansexual, blah 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 blah. It's ranking as it's a ranking structure to create jealousy in the workplace, so that people backstab each other and start lynching each other in the workplace based on factors such as body size, mental health, neurodiversity, sexuality, housing, race, skin color, citizenship, gender. It's a way to divide people and make them mad at each other, which is basically a very bad thing in the workplace, such as Smash JT in a tweet here saying felt like it was a good idea to go down on this road, hiring Sylvia Duckworth, a deep-rooted race-baiting grifter, to cash on DEI money. Yeah, it's an out-and-out racist trying to peddle a racial hustle which is all it's going to do is create a civil war in the workplace, and it's going to create such an awful and toxic product that people are going to reject it outright. So that's the commentary on the Wheel of Diversity. So if we look at some of the other articles here on Smash JT, we can see that God of War creator David Jaffe loses his mind in unhinged sexist rant over Vera Dark. Yeah. David Jaffe went insane with rants, calling Vera Dark a YouTuber who commentaries on game and gives objective opinions and rationale, reducing her to her sex, her looks, her hair color, and a set of irrelevant factors immaterial to her commentary on YouTube and in the topic which she speaks of, which is games. He also attempted to slander her with analogies relating her to political structures in reference to the existing election, to smear and slander her as a political adversary, and diminish her worth by essentially inflating that she was an airheaded bimbo because people were only concerned about her looks and her hair color as the reason why people would give her attention, when this guy looks like a deformed Santa Claus, and has pretty much gone into full lulcow territory with his insane and obscene rants. Here's a commentary by Sayel, who is a black man on YouTube, which you would probably say that only gets attention because of his physical characteristics and not his commentary. But anyways, I don't believe that, but David Jaffe does. He says, "You're in that chair because of your hair and your face and your gender," a quote by David Jaffe. Ironically, 100 times more attention-starved than any online female. Could go as a trans anyway if his kid, if it would get him the views he's always mentioned. Yeah, it's pretty unhinged. Jaffe's rants and unhinged quotes. Um, David Jaffe said, "Just read a little bit. You've got to do the research, lady. I didn't pull out some rando book on the WWE. I pulled out the expletive thing I was speaking about." He's talking about the K-fob where wrestlers stage events in relation to the election, saying that the election was staged, perpetuating an insane conspiracy theory that that the uh, that the attempt of termination on the president-elect was a fabrication, hoax, or otherwise staged event in the matter of a WWE event, K-fob. Another quote is, "Do I think that President-elect's termination events was staged? I don't know, but if you think that's beyond the pale, you guys are the ones talking about a former president not being a citizen and kids going on school and coming home a different gender," which of course was an obscene commentary by David Jaffe. Jared's on Vera's definition of a grifter. David Jaffe said, "Is that my definition of grifter? Where are you getting that from again? Where are you getting that, Vara Dark, from again, Vara? I'm going to give you a little bit of education here," which is a lecture as him talking down to her in a snobby content, as if he is the arbiter of knowledge on all things, as if he has access to the well of knowledge personally, to dispense knowledge as though he were some sort of god or deity. Personal attacks on Vera's appearance and abilities. "You're in a chair, Vera. You're because of your hair, your face, and your gender, and that's fine, by the way. There's no problem with that. But let's be clear, you're a mental lightweight." I'm sure the term that he wanted to use was mental midget, but of course, even though he censors himself, it's still a belittling and a snobby comment to make, which is not a commentary on the topic in general. It's just punching down at people because of your perceived position of power. If I was in NASA, they were like, "Oh, expletive, the space station's going to explode. Everybody, we can only solve this by looking at the blueprints and the math." I don't expletive know. Within the 5 minutes, they'll be like, "Jaffe, go get the coffee." The fact is that David Jaffe would not be on a NASA spaceship under the pretense of the space station was about to explode, because no amount of math or solving would ever fix that situation. If it is inevitable that the station is going to explode, the most reasonable strategy to fix the situation is to evacuate the station before it explodes. Because the fact is that if you're on an urgent time frame, you don't have time to work out math, you don't have time to gather resources. If there's an imminent explosion, you must evacuate from the area before you are taken by the explosion. That's just basic leadership training I learned in the Marine Corps. If there is an imminent explosion that is unavoidable, you don't want to be there for the explosion. You take cover, you get on the ground for incoming and hope that the explosion goes over your head. You don't sit there and try to figure out math on how to stop it, because you can't stop it. An inevitable explosion, duck and cover, pray you're not destroyed, and if you're not destroyed, get up and try to find out what went on. That's what you do when there's an imminent disaster. You're not going to stop the explosion, David Jaffe. It's insane that you could even think you can math your way through that situation. Anyways, that is the commentary that I have for this, and I am doing this to the playthrough of World War Z, so I hope you enjoy that, and you have a nice day. This was Alpha.